Get ready to see things that will take away your sleep tonight. These are scary videos you need to see for yourself to believe what happens next. This one will creep you out. Something has to be wrong. Look at the expressions on her face and the way her limbs are disproportionate to her body as a whole. Then she stops, turns her head and looks into the camera with the deepest and most empty stare that you will ever see. It is as if she was looking directly into your soul. A completely vacant stare that seems there is no life behind those eyes. Was this a witch, shapeshifter, or something else supernatural that was caught on camera? We see the creature walking down the road on 2 feet, then slumps down and takes on a different form. Something that looks more like an animal. That was very creepy. It started out as a semi-human first, then quickly changed. We see people running away in fear and trying their best to get away. A man threw hot water on a ghost to stop it from screaming. User at Francesco.777 found a solution to the annoying noises and shared the shocking footage on TikTok. Tired of the noises, he took a pot of boiling water and threw it at the supposed entity to stop it from bothering him. Cameras don't lie. That's what makes this next case even more unnerving. Security footage captured a ghostly figure standing motionless outside a nightclub, except it wasn't really standing on anything. It hovered just above the pavement as cars drove right through it. The entity never flinched, never moved, never reacted. It was simply there watching, and thanks to the footage, so are we.
The baby monitor captured this strange event. The baby was sound asleep when the camera captured strange lights and formation moving around. They seem to be orbs hovering around the infant as he sleeps. It doesn't look or behave like if it was dust or insects hovering by. What do you think of this capture? This was shared with the caption, "We moved to this apartment and we have been hearing footsteps every single night. It usually happens around 3 a.m. It sounds like someone is walking towards our bed. Do you have some theories?"
A YouTuber captured something unexpectedly scary by accident. While recording, he was walking around his house and talking to the camera when viewers noticed it in the background. There was a shadowy figure of what looked like a person standing there. Problem was, they had no head or discernible features. Judge for yourself and tell me, was this truly paranormal?
Only 5 seconds later, 2 large men appeared on her front porch. One of them, without hesitation, grabbed the door handle and attempted to open it. The young woman's quick reflex to scream and threaten to call the police seemed to catch the intruders by surprise. However, what really stood out was their reaction. They appeared genuinely confused. Had they mistakenly entered the wrong house? The brief time between the young woman's arrival and the attempted break-in suggests they had seen her enter and still tried to force their way in. Anyone in their right mind would realize that someone was home, or at least recognize the owner before attempting to break in, right? But these men seemed to be faking their confusion. The strange behavior of the first man who turned to his accomplice, as if mentioning the camera before knocking on the door, made the situation even more sinister. Did they have innocent intentions, or were they indeed in the wrong house? In the early hours of October 16th in Kent, Washington, a couple faced what could only be described as a nightmare. After a peaceful night at the casino, they returned home, unaware they had been followed. Security cameras captured the husband unlocking the door. But only seconds later, the wife noticed something that made her freeze and place. An armed man was approaching. She reacted quickly, rushing inside and locking the door. In panic, they watched the suspect furiously hit the camera with his gun until he destroyed it. But the nightmare didn't end there. Another man appeared, making it clear this duo had sinister intentions. Fortunately, the couple escaped unharmed. Authorities later identified the armed man as Al Hussein, an 18-year-old who was arrested days later and faced several charges, including first-degree robbery. He pleaded not guilty, but the terror this couple experienced is undeniable. The lingering question remains: had they been followed from the casino, or was the attack random? And what would the men have done if they had gained entry? Now let's dive into something even more eerie and inexplicable. A TikToker named Nolan Brock captured a bizarre moment on his home's security camera. The video, recorded while Nolan was peacefully on the couch around 1:39 a.m., shows the pantry doors beginning to open on their own. Accompanying this was a cracking or banging sound from inside the pantry. Still half asleep, Nolan initially thought it was just a draft and tried to go back to sleep. However, what happened next defied logic. At 1:43 a.m., one of the pantry doors suddenly slammed shut with enough force to eliminate any possibility of a simple draft. The loud sound echoed through the house, leaving Nolan with a racing heart and the unsettling feeling that something inexplicable was happening. Needless to say, Nolan didn't spend the rest of the night on the couch. This incident intrigued his TikTok followers, raising many questions about what could have caused such an event.